We've gone past the northernmost sites of Marpy Point, and now we've made our way a little bit further south, about 2 miles from Bird Island itself. And here at this site, we find ourselves at Kalabera, which is the pronunciation in Chamorro. But that particular word comes from the Spanish calavera, which means skull. Now, what is the significance? The ancient Chamorros, during the pre-Lati period, buried their dead in caves. And so caves are sacred sites to the Chamorro people. And here at Kalabera, if you walk along the wooden platform and you find yourself at the end of that platform overlooking the entrance and the middle chamber of the cave, you will see rock features that mimic the human skull. There are actually two, one superimposed over the other. And sometimes you cannot see it with your eyes, literally, but you take up your camera or your phone camera and you aim it at the inner walls of the cave, and it would pop right out. And you'll see it. You'll be face to face with these two skulls, but they are rock features. Now, the cave, archaeologically, the cave dates to as early as about 1426 BC. So what that means is this particular part of Marpy Point has seen human contact from about 1426 BC to the present day. Kalabera Cave is the only site that I've observed on Saipan that is consistently visited, no matter what time of the day or what weather conditions are at play. Kalabera always has visitors. But as with the other sites, it is a sacred site because our ancestors were buried in this cave. There is rock art at Kalabera, but we also ask that you are respectful and mindful, and please do not spray paint over the images nor scratch onto the rock surface, destroying the original images placed by our ancestors who lived thousands of years ago. In addition to the ancient layer, Kalabera Cave was also used during World War II. There are defense structures to the right and to the left of the cave entrance, and they played a key role in how the Japanese attempted to continue to defend Saipan, even though at the point wherein the US forces and Japanese forces were already at Marpy Point, the Japanese army realized that it was then a battle of attrition and they were facing defeat. And in the Japanese code of Bushido, it is shameful for a soldier, a warrior, to surrender to the enemy. And basically, the code of Bushido was the underlying impetus for many of the civilian jumps over the edges of the cliffs here at Marpy Point. That and consistent propaganda, which was bestowed upon the civilian population by the Japanese military. They convinced the Japanese civilians and Okinawan civilians that the women would be raped, the children would be murdered and eaten, quote unquote, by the American soldiers. So rather than surrender to the US forces, many Japanese civilians took their lives into their own hands by jumping over the cliffs or by committing suicide with a grenade in the middle of a family huddled.